G'day y'all. We got an unboxing. So I had this gimbal and it stopped working. And they switched it out with this one here. I didn't do an unboxing because I had it for a long time. It's irrelevant. The DJI Osmo Mobile. So what this is one of those gimbals that you see somewhere like football or in the crowd of a talk show, and the dude can run downstairs and the camera just goes like this. There's no stair step. It takes the weight and the shaking out, and it just allows that to be smooth as possible. There are a bunch of different companies that have it out. GoPro have one out. This is by DJI. The company that I had was Zujin, I think it was, an Asian company, but a bunch of different companies have them out. DJI is huge in drones. They do a lot of professional drones. So this one here is by that company. So it looks very similar to the last one. You put any cell phone in it. You have to adjust it. I've already taken the clear plastic. I haven't opened it yet, but I've already taken the clear plastic off. And then hopefully, there we go. So that's a contained box inside. Oh, upside down Miss Jane, upside down Miss Jane. So it's got some kind of Osmo shield. I don't know what that is. I don't know whether this is stuck to it or not, but I can't slide it out. Yes, it is. So this is the warranty service, and then this is in Chinese, and I can't understand a word that is. And then all your manuals. So, I don't know, quick start guide, disclaimer, the battery. Oh, this one has a removable battery. Huh. So you can buy extra batteries for it. I found with the other one you get like 16 hours battery time anyway, so it's actually pretty cool. It's got these, let's see if I can put this back in. So this is thick, you can see here, this folds inside there like that, makes it nice, and the lid is inside, and that, I don't know what that is in yet, but here it is. It's in a foam case, and it's got the cable here, and I pull it out, and I thought it was just going to be a box, but this is literally just a cardboard thing holding, I don't know what that is, we'll find that out in a minute. Here is a battery. Here is a little cable to hook it to your wrist so you don't lose it, and this is some kind of a cap. Let's open this one first and we'll see. Okay, so this is the not as nice. I must say this retails for $300. It's on sale at the moment for nearly half of that, and it's not as nice of a case. But still, it's a case. I hardly had mine. Well, I stored it in my case, but and now, and it's really in there. So it doesn't have the battery in it at the moment, so it's really light. And can't see how to put the battery in actually. So as you can see here, it rotates this way, it rotates this way, and it rotates this way. So all of that is so you can move the handle and it keeps the phone stable. So let's get battery in. So this comes up from the bottom. There we go. So the other good thing that I liked about the other one, its first use. The other thing that I liked about it, it had a USB port on it, so you could charge your phone with the thing there. So I really liked that about it, because you'd be holding it there and your phone runs out. You could literally plug it into your phone, and it would charge whatever you're going into it. So I'm going to do a little bit of reading on this, and I'll be back in a couple minutes. Okay, so as you can see, it's daylight now, and I did charge the battery on the Osmo Mobile. I actually watched a bunch of tutorials, specifically from iPhone, what is he? Where is it? It's iPhonedo, iPhonedo. Good guy, looks like he's from Ukraine or Russia or something like that, and obviously lives in America now, and he does these things, and they're pretty cool. So he went over some things that are in the actual the handheld, and that is about using the trigger like that. So that locks it. If I use the trigger, it locks it, and you can still move around and it'll do that. Or if you take the trigger off and move it around, it will follow you. And there's two modes, walk and sport. So walk, it follows very, very slow. I think that is walk right there, and you can see it's turning with it, and it goes like this, and there we go. And you turn it over to there it is, scene mode. Well, that was in sport. So the walk now, you can see it goes very slowly, turns very slowly, and then put it back into sport, and then that will go more with the angle of where you're pointing the stick. You double tap and it will instantly go back to straight where you are. So if I go like that and I go up and move it up, I go double tap, and we'll come back down to level, to where you were. Then you can move that around with the joystick. Another thing is, and I'm not going to be able to show you here, if on my screen I've got this tracking motion. So what that does, if I'm not going to hold this and I'm going to point it at the camera. So I'm just going to track you guys there, and the more I move it out, you can actually see on this screen, it's got a box around my camera over there, and wherever I take it, it will follow. So you can do that, and it's got a box around the camera, my camera. If I take it out and go up here, it will follow. So that is awesome right there, and I can press exit there, so now it will go back to just the normal one. If I triple click the camera, the trigger on the back, it actually switches it around, and you can do that while you're recording as well. So that's something that not even the iPhone does. You can't, once you start recording video on this is the iPhone 6. Once you start recording that, it cannot change the camera, so you can't switch it from front to back, and then obviously back to front. So we'll go around here like this, and that is you guys right there. There's my camera, and I go 1, 2, 3, and then that is me. So then I turn that around. So you can do that. That is awesome. There's another couple of things that, so you can change the resolution, 1080p, 720p, 1080p 60 frames a second, 1080p 30 frames a second. So the only thing that there's obviously with these kind of things, there's so many accessories and stuff like that. This is for basic stuff. So when we go to, now that I can switch the camera, I might do a little bit more talking to this instead of you guys, so I can switch it from forward to back. I'll do a lot of B-roll with this. So if I turn this up like this, I turn this up like this, it'll turn up, and then if I turn it again, it'll turn over. So now if I want to do filming down low for B-roll stuff for my final movie, I can actually do that nice and low and get down to the ground to do things like waterfalls and running creeks and stuff like that. And then over here, that's it, you got to do that, and then turn it and it'll go back to portrait, and then turn it again and it'll instantly go back to your landscape. The also thing with that, now the other one that I had, the Zhuzhen, the Chinese one, it did that where it would do that, but what was I going to say? But it would kind of mess up, and if you got the orientation wrong, it would just spaz out, and then you would have to figure out how you did it to ride itself. So this one doesn't do that. Also, when you're at vast angles, that's one thing that I found difficult with this one. You can't do that. This one has how to do, that's right, you can also hold the trigger and you want to do zoom, and you zoom in. So I'm actually controlling the camera there, so I'll switch it around and then turn it around like this. So hold the trigger in the back, and you can't zoom the front one. Okay, so there we go. So I'm going to hold that in and zoom in, all from without touching the thing. Now the other one did that, but I could never get it to join the, so I was just using it, I'd press record on my phone and then move it around and then edit that. So I like the fact that I can actually hook this up to it. The other thing is it has this here. So the Chinese one, it had a much longer battery, and it had so you can put a tripod here. I'm going to get a base for this, so to put it on my desk or wherever, and then if I can move, I can always put it in track mode. But also this is here, so it's halfway up, it gives it better balance between the two, so it won't wobble around as much. So when I finally do get some accessories, it won't be a it's just wobbling around a lot. So you can get a lot of accessories for this, just like GoPro and things like that. They're expensive, and that's one of the accessories you can get, and I do want to get. You can get, so on the other one was $139. This retails at $300, so is a little bit cheaper than that at the moment. To mount a GoPro on this, it costs $15, and you buy just a thing. Excuse me. You buy a thing that basically looks like your phone, and it's got a hole here, and the GoPro sits in there. It's $15. The other one, you actually had to buy a mount, and this came off or something like that. Didn't get it because it was $200. So the unit itself was $139, and to mount your GoPro was $200 and something. So that was never happening, so I just used my phone. Now with this one, if I can get that thing for $15, I can actually have my GoPro on there as well. So I like it, and I think I'm going to get more use out of this one, and I'm watching more tutorials to get better at it as well, so that way it is all better for you. My next video will probably be, I was lent by one of the Bryans. They're drones. So we got a DJI, so this is a DJI as well. We got a DJI Phantom 3 Professional, so it's got a 4K camera. So we're going to do some fun stuff, I hope, with that. And it is updating the firmware now, so if we log up there, it's updating the firmware, and I've got the controller charging, so that's happening too. So I expect some stuff to happen. I love when stuff happens. But at the moment, I got to work out how to do all the upgrades of the firmware and stuff like that before I even start it up. I haven't even put any of the blades on yet, so it hasn't flown under my care. We've got a little bit of charging of the controller, got a little bit of charging and firmware upgrades for the actual aircraft. So I have a friend who's a professional videographer, and he's giving me some tips, and then I got the YouTube DJI tutorials, and I've watched a lot of them right now. So being that this is worth probably, you know, close to $1,200, $1,300 worth of stuff, I don't want to break it. It's very important. Okay, so that was it for today. Oh, thanks for watching.